Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. And today, we're going to be talking about weapons. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay. So, this movie was directed by Zach Krieger. Keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. And this dude, it's very interesting because if you look at his history, you would never guess this guy would go into horror because this man started writing sketch comedy for the whitest kids you know. But you know who else started with sketch comedy? Jordan Peele. And when he decided, you know what, I'm gonna make a horror movie. I'm gonna make Get Out. People were like, huh? It's a bit of a left turn type of decision. But hey, it worked out for him. So Zach was just like, if he can do it, damn it, I can do it too. And that's what he did. And he ended up making Barbarian in 2022. Now, with this movie, I'm going to be real. I didn't care for it at all before it released. I was just like, oh, it's just going to be a generic horror movie or something. At least that's what the trailer kind of told me. I didn't think much of it. But I did notice, like, right before the movie was coming out, there's like a big old, more of a push from Disney. I thought they were just gonna dump it out there, but they're like putting an actual effort into like marketing it. I'm like, okay, this movie might stand a chance. But still, I didn't have like high hopes for it, especially box office wise. And plus, it came out at like a really depressing time for the box office, like late August and early September 2022. That was rough. That was truly awful. It was just like March of this year, which is absolute trash. But Barbarian managed to be like the little movie that could because it opened with 10.5 million. I was like, huh, that's a pretty solid, opening considering the budget of this movie and the fact that it was coming out at a very sad time for movie going. But not only that, it had really good legs for a horror movie. Ended up making over 40 million domestic, 45 million worldwide on a budget of 4.5 million. Very solid result. And not to mention, the movie was received very well. And I did watch this movie. It took me 2 years, but I watched it at the end of 2024. And boy, it was an experience. It was a movie that was very unpredictable. I had no idea where it was going, like the whole time. And it's not too often I watch a movie basically reset itself mid movie, where it starts at one thing, resets, and then we have like this starts from like another character's perspective. So that was a little jarring, but kind of welcome. So yeah, I did really like Barbarian, and a lot of people did too. So that he produced Companion, didn't make it, but he did produce it. But Companion earlier this year very much had the same vibes as Barbarian, like a very twisty type genre flick. And while this movie it did okay financially, it didn't do as well as I wanted it to, which is a damn shame because this movie was fucking good, man. This movie slapped, and the fact that it just kind of did upsets me a little bit. But then again, like quarter one of this year was just a dark time for movie going. Like no one was going except for like a few times. It was a sad, just yeah. This is definitely a movie I believe deserved better than what it got, but because it's a really great flick. But it didn't do terrible. But I wish it did better though. But yeah, even the marketing says from the creators of Barbarian. But now we have Weapons, the movie, Zach Kreger's second movie. And not to mention, this man's going to be making himself a Resident Evil movie next year. So this man's becoming like more of like a new face, an emerging new face of horror, which is good because it's giving him some clout. And clout can do a lot of good for your career. So, yeah, the success and the reputation of Barbarian is very much a good thing here. It'll definitely benefit this, so that's a pro. Another pro is that boy, this movie's had a really strong marketing campaign. And one thing that's really fueled its marketing campaign, one thing is being hype, because this movie's been hyped as fuck. But another thing is that this movie's been hyped up as a mystery, because it very much is a mystery movie. Because the trailer tells you that, you know, all these kids from like this one classroom, it's like 17 kids. For some reason at 2:17 in the morning, they all just get out the house and just basically Naruto run into the darkness, and no one knows why. No one has a clue. So, and the trailers don't tell you like really anything. They just tell you like the initial like inciting incident, and that's it. And so you're just wondering like what the hell happened to these kids? What's going on? And that's how a movie can really like hook you, and that's how it hooked me. And not to mention the first trailer for this movie might be one of the most intense trailers I've seen in a minute. And it just made me go, I need to see this movie the moment it releases. Like I really do. So yeah, very much how I felt when I saw like the 28 years later trailer. Like it hooked me immediately. It made it like a much a must watch movie like immediately. So yeah, strong marketing, very strong marketing. So a good mixture of hype and mystery. Those two things are very much both, big old pros for this movie. Another pro, very big pro for this movie is word of mouth. It's spectacular across the board. Has a 96% critic score. It was like at 100% for like 2 days, but it's dropped. But still, 96% is excellent. 89% audience score, excellent. Cinema score, A minus. That is abnormally high for a horror movie. Like, really high. I mean, Sinners, that got like an A. But like an A for any horror movie is like rare, because horror movies have had a notoriously difficult time cinema score. Like a B is considered an A, and a lot of horror movies tend to get like C grades. Like Together got a C plus, for example. So for this to get an A minus is like wow. People really really like this movie. People really connecting with it. So word of mouth across the board, fantastic. It's terrific. So that's a big old pro right there. That's gonna sell the movie more than anything. Well, besides the mystery angle and the hype. So it's like the perfect storm of hype, acclaim, and mystery. All three of those things are like massive pros. Another pro is its preview numbers. 5.7 million for an original movie. That's great. That's awesome, actually. I think that's better than Final Destination Bloodlines, I think, which was also from Warner Brothers. Could also use Sinners, also from Warner Brothers, as a comparison piece. But yeah, Sinners, Final Destination. If it pops up, there we go. Very recent horror movies. Sinners like the biggest horror movie this year. I don't think that's going to be topped by anything. But that had a preview number of 4.7 million. So that's comparable considering both are original flicks. And you got Final Destination Bloodlines. That had a preview number of 5.5 million. Keep in mind, this is the sixth entry in a long running series. So for Weapons, an original flick made by, the director's like second movie, to have a better preview number than a Final Destination movie, that says a lot right there. That tells me this movie has real momentum on its side. And apparently it's like the biggest preview number for like a original horror movie since Nope from like 3 years ago, which is from Jordan Peele. And funny enough, Jordan Peele like tried to like buy the movie, like try to like buy it for like, but then he got outbid like by Warner Brothers, and they end up getting it. So yeah, the fact that I'm mentioning Jordan Peele so much, like it's not just a coincidence. But yeah, so preview numbers are great, absolutely great. So that's a pro. Any other pros? Well, I guess when it comes to direct competition, yes, it's out there, but it's not really gonna touch this though. Together, I feel like it's gonna get crushed by weapons because that's usually what happens. The older movie gets crushed by the newer movie. And I don't know any other horror movies coming out this August, really. I know there's Conjuring Last Rites, but that's in September. So that's several weeks away. When it comes to other horror movies, like serious horror movies, I don't think there's anything. I don't. I'm looking at the schedule. I don't really see anything. So really, this movie has a whole month for itself, to make money. So that's great, obviously. And of all the August movies, this has the most momentum, going for it. So that helps too. So, yeah, lack of real direct competition. So that's a pro. Any other pros? I mentioned like all the main points. Okay, cons. I can't think of any real cons for this movie. I mean, I guess there's like, I don't know. Shit, I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything that would really like doom this movie or be like a problem. Yeah, I can't think of anything. So I guess we're just gonna go straight to opening weekend. Oh, I guess what another pro I forgot to mention though, Warner Brothers. Boy, they've been killing it these last few months. Like at the start of the year, it was going terribly. I mean, Companion did okay-ish, although it should have done better. March was horrible for them. Mickey 17, Alto Nights both bombed hard. But then once April hit, things changed in a big way because they've been on like a golden streak. They had the Minecraft movie, then Sinners, then Final Destination Bloodlines, then F1, then Superman, and now this. And I imagine that hot streak will continue with Conjuring Last Rites. I don't know about one battle after another. I feel like that might break their golden streak. But right now they're doing terrific. Like it's just been like hit after hit after hit. So, and this will very much join them in the hits. So, yeah, Warner Brothers on their current hot streak, I will label that as a very much as a pro. And now that's it. So, opening weekend, this is projected to hit 38 million. And I feel like word of mouth as good as it is, I think it could go to 40. I do believe that. So I'm going to say 40 million, give or take, maybe like a couple million below or above, but 40 million is what I'm going with opening weekend. There's a chance this could make more money in 3 days than Barbarian made total. Wouldn't that be something? But even if it doesn't, it'll be like a big old step up from Barbarian. And its legs should be really good, realistically. But I don't know if it'll be like, I'm not saying it's gonna be like Sinners or anything like that, where that movie just straight up broke the box office. I'm not gonna say that's gonna happen, but I can see this movie, playing out for like the rest of the summer. So yeah, I'm gonna say 100 to 125. I think I'm gonna go with that 100 to 125 million total, and yeah, that's it for the weekend. Yeah. So that was August 8th. And this right here is, I would consider this the last real like big weekend of the summer, the last hoorah moment of the summer, because after this things go downhill in a hurry. Yeah, April, God. Because next weekend it's pretty blah. The biggest movie that come out is gonna be Nobody 2, and I don't expect that movie to really be a blockbuster. And it's just gonna be kind of just ugh. And that's going to be the case for the rest of August. So that's not going to be very fun. But yeah, that'll be next week though. So Yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of them, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. July recap will come out Sunday. August recap will be the second weekend of September, so stay tuned for both of those. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. It's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I don't think I ever talked about weapons. No, never. Okay. So I never talked about weapons on that series, but there's 250 episodes of canceled. So if you want to binge watch that series from beginning to end, I highly suggest you do that. So go do it. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.